it was all a dream. Related to killers and dope fiends. Cousin was moving at 14. White things but no porcelain. How could they sleep on this poor thing? What I foreseen was a short thing.
As always, huge shout out to Uno Hype for that awesome intro video. You guys definitely make sure to check him out. He is so talented. I've honestly been obsessed with all of his music lately. Been listening to it while I'm getting ready, before Laker games get me fired up. I've been listening to it at the gym, and I am just so obsessed. So all of the links to his music are down below. Definitely make sure to check that out. But what's up, Laker fam? Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Lakers Report by Chat Sports, all things Lakers. I'm your host, Hannah Kulik, aka Laker Han, and today we're back at it again with our weekly mailbag Q&A. So you guys know the drill by now. Every week I ask you guys to send me in questions via my Twitter and or my Instagram. So definitely make sure that you are following me on those platforms so that you can participate in the next one. Like I said, we do these weekly. But anyway, you guys sent me some amazing questions, so I just want to jump right into it to try to answer as many as possible. Okay, now let's go to the first question. It is from @C2NBA. He says, I love the way the Lakers are playing, and I am also the biggest LeBron fan in the world, but I have to ask you, are you concerned about the Clippers? I'm not really concerned about the Clippers. I mean, obviously they are a very talented team. I think when you were looking at the top two Western Conference teams, maybe even just the top two teams in the entire league. I mean, I know you could argue the Milwaukee Bucks are in there as well, but I think it comes down to the Clippers and the Lakers, but I still think that the Lakers have the advantage of them. Obviously, we did lose that opening night game. It was a Clippers home game, whatever. We did lose to them, but that was our first game. And obviously, ever since then, we've been playing extremely well. We currently have the best record in the NBA. We are dominating. We're playing some top teams on the road. We have the best road record in the NBA. So, yes, the Clippers are definitely probably the Lakers' biggest threat, but I don't really think we have anything to worry about. But we are going to be able to see Christmas Day. Definitely cannot wait to have that game circled, and I cannot wait for the Lakers to get the revenge on the Clippers because I do think that the Lakers are the better team. Alright, but let's move on from the Clippers. Don't really want to spend too much time talking on them, but that was a great question. Let's go to the next question. It is from @Junie6. He asked, what is your assessment on Kuzma getting his swagger back? So yes, Kuz has definitely struggled so far this season, but I'm not giving up on him. I know a lot of Laker fans are very frustrated with him. I am as well, but we have to kind of look at this and be realistic. He did just come back from an injury that kept him out of basketball play for a really long time. He just came back about a month ago now. I don't even know if it's been a full month. So then, of course, he started to kind of take a few games to get all the rust off. And then once he was playing better, then he got hit in the face, had that eye injury, had to wear the goggles. And on top of all of that, he is adjusting to playing with not only LeBron James, but also Anthony Davis. And playing with those two guys, obviously, all of the offense, or mainly the offense, is going to be running through them. Everyone is going to be focusing mainly on them and making sure that they are getting all the plays drawn up. So Kuz isn't necessarily having a lot of plays drawn up for him. He's not really a focal point of this team. So you can't really compare Kuz to the other young stars like the Donovan Mitchells, even Brandon Ingram, who are the stars of the team, and everything is running through them because he's obviously in a very different situation playing with two superstars in LeBron and Anthony Davis. But I think Kuz is just going to have to continue to be confident, kind of get out of his head. I think maybe he's getting in his head a little bit and just be a little bit more aggressive offensively. And then I think if he continues to do that, then he'll be fine. He honestly always has the best Decembers throughout his career. He's always had his best season in that December month. So we are just entering December, so we're going to have to kind of wait and see. But I have definitely not given up on Kyle Kuzma yet. I just think he needs a little bit more time to adjust and, of course, get back to 100% healthy. Next question, though, kind of has to do with Kuz again. It's from @Asvaldo_Mongi. I'm sorry if I didn't say your name right. But he said, should AD, not LeBron, take Kuzma under his wings? These guys will need each other when LeBron is gone. I don't necessarily think so. I mean, I think Kuz is taking advice from both Anthony Davis and LeBron, but I think LeBron is still the leader, and AD is honestly getting a lot of leadership and advice from LeBron. LeBron's kind of taking AD under his wing as well. So I don't necessarily, I don't really think that it's hurting Kuz to be kind of under LeBron's wing instead of AD's. I think just them all three coming together and just really kind of learning from each other is just the best case situation, which I think is what they're really doing right now. So no, not really concerned about it. at Luda_Wooksy. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce your username right. It says, what will be the Lakers' record for this season if they continue to play at this pace? This is a great question because I don't think anyone could have predicted that we would be where we are right now. The Lakers having the best record in the NBA, completely dominating. They've only lost 3 games at this point when I'm recording this video. So no one, I don't think, really expected that. I think going into the season, I was really hopeful for about 55, 56 wins. I was kind of projecting a little bit over ESPN's 50, 51 average for the season. But now it looks like they could definitely win more games. Again, it is a very long season. The schedule does get very tough, especially this month for the Lakers. So they may start losing a few more games than they have, obviously, to start out the season. But I think they could still hit that 56, maybe even stretch it to about 60 wins. I think that's a realistic goal. I want to kind of, what's that saying goes, I kind of want to like under promise and overachieve versus kind of over promise and underachieve. So I'm going to say, you know, I definitely think that Lakers could win a few more than the original 55, 56 games that I predicted. So I'm going to guess around 60 games, but I want to know how many wins you guys think the Lakers could win this season. Do you think I'm crazy? They're going to start losing more games and they're going to kind of be more in the 50 range? Or do you think, no, I think they're going to win even more than 60 games? And heck, they can even win 70. We are about to have an ad break here. So we're going to make this the pinned comment. So do me a favor, while we have the ad running through, just go ahead and scroll down and let me know how many games you think the Lakers are going to win this season. Alright, now before we move on to some more of your questions, I want to take a second to please remind you guys to hit that subscribe button down below. We currently met our goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of November. I am so grateful for you guys for allowing me to meet that goal, but now I want to hit 15,000 by Christmas. That would be awesome, so please, please subscribe. Join this Lakers Report family and make my holiday season even brighter by joining this family and clicking that subscribe button down below. And while you are at it, go ahead and give me a follow on my Instagram at Hannah Rose Kulik and my Twitter at Hannah_Kulik. But let's move on and let's take a look at some more of these questions. This next one is from at PG Young Fly. Huge shout out to you. You are always so supportive on my Twitter and my Instagram, so I definitely notice you. I'm really, really, really grateful for your support. So just want to say that real quick. But he asks, how are we going to fit Avery back in the lineup when he returns from injury? He's our best perimeter defender, but we've been balling without him. Who slides to the bench, or do we just throw him in as a 6th man? I think when Avery Bradley returns and he's healthy, he's just going to be back in that starting lineup, and we're going to have that same lineup that we saw, that starting lineup of Avery Bradley, Danny Green, the backcourt, LeBron, AD, and then JaVale McGee, and then KCP will be back to coming off the bench. Yes, the Lakers have been playing well. They've been winning without Avery Bradley, but still, they have really needed him on the defensive end. We've seen a lot of games where they weren't playing as well defensively. We kind of slipped from being that #1 defensive team in the NBA, and I think a big part of that has to do with Avery Bradley. So I don't think that Avery Bradley should be in the coming off the bench when he returns. I think he should just be inserted back in that starting lineup because I think they really need him defensively, and I think ultimately that's just what's going to happen. That just is what makes the most sense. I know KCP has been playing well in his absence, but still, I think KCP coming off the bench, providing more scoring off the bench, now that he's kind of gotten his swag back and his confidence back, is the best case scenario for our Lakers, definitely. And then at Priyank.ah1r, how can our bench get better? Okay, so this is kind of a big question. I think when you're asking how our bench can get better, you're referring to our shooting and our guys kind of like Quinn Cook, Troy Daniels, and being a little bit more consistent that way with our shooting. And I don't really know. I mean, obviously Cook and Daniels have struggled. It seemed like, you know, this summer we got this team perfectly to surround LeBron and AD with a bunch of these 3-point shooters, but so far no one has really been able to do it consistently. Not even Danny Green really has been able to do it consistently. He's had some flashes, but all in all, no one's really been able to come in and be that knockdown 3-point shooter night in and night out. So this is obviously something that the Lakers are going to need to establish and work on, especially if they do want to compete with the elite teams like the Clippers, for example, who have Lou Williams coming off the bench and being, you know, scoring 30 points a night. So this is definitely one of their biggest struggles. I think, of course, it is just still so early on in the season. We're going to have to let these guys kind of get used to adjusting playing for the Lakers. It's obviously a much big stage than some of these guys are used to playing with, and then also, of course, getting their kind of confidence back. So it's just going to take them, keep shooting, keep being confident, and then hopefully they'll start knocking down those shots. But especially Quinn Cook, I do really want to see him start being a little bit more consistent. I'm really rooting for him. So hopefully he can kind of establish himself more as a more consistent three-point shooter and earn some more minutes in the rotation, because right now he's really fallen out. All right, Laker fam, now before I answer some more of your questions, I want to just remind you guys that we are having a huge holiday sale on all of our Laker gear, so definitely make sure to check out the links down below because we've got some great discounts. For example, we have this awesome 2 Laker t-shirts that we are offering for 50% off. We have a LeBron James hoodie for 30% off, and so much more. So definitely make sure to check out the links down below. Make sure that you are getting your family, friends, and even yourself all decked out in Lakers gear, and now is definitely the time to do it. So definitely take advantage of these awesome discounts. But moving on and answering some more of your questions, we have one from @Delano1. This is funny. Out of all the Lakers' current players, who has the best beach bod? Also, if the Lakers have a chance to improve by adding a player, should they go for shooting or wing defense if they can't get both? Okay, so best beach bod, obviously Dwight Howard. That's a funny question, but he just looks like he works out 24/7. He's completely ripped. In terms of if the Lakers should have a chance to improve by adding a shooter or a wing defender, obviously their first choice is Iguodala. We all know that, but they are just waiting to see if Memphis buys him out or what kind of happens there. Right now, it's not really looking like Memphis wants to buy him out, so I don't know if they need to move on. No, if they move on and they go and pursue a shooter, we could look at a guy like maybe Jamal Crawford. I know he's been in the mix. I think I would prefer Iguodala just because the Lakers are very guard heavy, so I think we need more of a wing defender, but we may just have to kind of go for what the best option is if we are looking to kind of change this team and add a different player, because we don't even have to do so, you guys. These are all just if we want to, but I think Iggy's our first pick. He would be my first choice, but we just kind of have to wait and see how that plays out. Okay, these next few questions actually are all talking about Iguodala and the trade. What positions do you think the Lakers need to trade for? Again, I think having a wing defender would be a huge addition, which is why, we need kind of another small forward. Like I said, we're already very guard heavy, so we don't really need another guard. And then also, if Iggy is unavailable, who's a replacement target, I think Jamal Crawford may be a good look there. But of course, there are a lot of guys that we could really see either being bought out by their teams or maybe even via trade. So there are still a lot of guys. This next question actually asks that kind of apart from Iggy, who's the best defensive-minded forward the Lakers could get? We're obviously very guard heavy. Could we trade Quinn for someone? I feel like he's the odd guard out. So right now, I don't really want to trade Quinn Cook. Obviously, down the line, if he's not able to be a more consistent shooter, then maybe. But right now, I kind of want to just ride it out and let him get his feet under him, let him kind of calm down, get his confidence back. But we could definitely trade him. I think if we are going to be looking to trade someone, he is probably the guy that we most likely are going to be trading. In terms of what's the next part of this question, the best defensive-minded forwards the Lakers could get, these would probably have to be, again, you guys, these would probably have to be through a trade because there aren't too many guys available. I guess 2 guys that you could potentially see being thrown out there via trade, of course, would be Trevor Ariza, who right now is playing from the Kings. Obviously, he was a Laker back a while ago, but he's a very good kind of defensive-minded forward. We could also potentially maybe even see a guy like Robert Covington of Minnesota become available via trade, but again, these are all just kind of, guys I'm kind of picking out of a hat. I don't necessarily know if these teams are going to want to trade them, but I think that they would be defensive-minded forwards that could add a lot to this team if they are being willing, if the teams are willing to trade them. But again, there isn't that much of a market right now in terms of like free agents and unsigned players. So this would have to be kind of through a trade, or we would have to wait and see what teams kind of buy out certain players. But definitely, I think Trevor Ariza, Robert Covington could be good defensive-minded forwards. But again, I think Iggy is everyone's first choice here. All right, I'm going to pick a couple more questions here. But again, really quickly before I do, just want to remind you guys again about our amazing holiday sales on all of the Lakers gears. Make sure to go check out the links below. They are such great discounts. You're definitely not going to want to miss out on these exciting opportunities to rock some purple and gold and be in style. set your friends and family up, and of course yourself up with all of the latest Laker gear for a huge discount. So definitely click those links below, check them out, super easy, and go get yourself some Lakers swag. But let's move on. I'm going to answer a couple more questions, like I said. This next one from @ByG Daddy 2006. As of now, how would you say Frank Vogel has been handling the team? I think he's been doing a great job. He was obviously voted Coach of the Month for the first couple, month and a half of the season, and I've been very impressed by him just because this team has really bought into this system from day one, and there haven't really been too many learning curves and learning kinks, which is kind of what I expected, and they all seem like they have great chemistry. They enjoy playing for each other, which was something that I was a little concerned about, just because when you have two superstars like Anthony Davis and LeBron James, you have to kind of think about how is this, rest of the team going to really fit when there's so much pressure, especially since being, this is the Lakers. But I think Frank Vogel has done a really good job at handling this team, getting this team to buy into the system, getting this team to play hard, especially from the defensive end. So I've been very impressed by him, and I don't really have too many complaints about Frank Vogel, honestly. And then last question that we are going to answer today, from @Rams_Lakers, who do you think will have the most impact in the playoffs for the Lakers? I think we gotta go with the obvious choice here would be LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I think those are two guys that are obviously our superstars. They're going to completely dominate once we do get in the playoffs, and they're already completely dominating this season. But I think if the Lakers are really going to win the championship this year, it's obviously going to take someone else to really step up as well and kind of be that third consistent scorer. So whether or not it is Kyle Kuzma, I'm really kind of keeping my fingers crossed that it is. But I think Danny Green is another guy who we really are going to need to see step up in the playoffs and be that guy who can be that consistent 3-and-D guy. And obviously, DG is a very clutch guy. He's got that championship experience, that playoff experience, and he's always been known to be very clutch in the playoffs. So I think Danny Green is going to be a huge factor for us in the playoffs, but still keeping my fingers, of course, for Kyle Kuzma, that he ends up being that third scorer we were all hoping. But that is going to be it for today's mailbag Q&A. Thank you guys so much again for sending me in such awesome questions. Don't forget to give this video a double thumbs up if you like these Q&As, and of course, comment down below. Don't forget to let me know how many games you think the Lakers are going to win this season. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Come join this Lakers Report family. And until next time, Laker Han is out. Bye, guys.